Hello, everybody, and welcome to my next live. Did you know that pain, and especially chronic pain, has a lot to do with learning? This will be the topic for today, and it will be right the next step from my video yesterday. So if you didn't see it, you're warmly invited to watch it, of course. Hi, I'm Gideon. I'm a psychologist and licensed psychotherapist in Germany, treating pain patients for 29 years now. And I'm a pain patient myself, so I know pretty well both sides of the whole system. And all this I packed into my system of Pain, Pause, Live to help chronic pain patients to a better life by applying cutting-edge psychological principles. We have so much new stuff coming out at the moment. Over the last years, it was really like a revelation for psychologists in pain psychology, because so much found out, and I want to transport all this to you. Okay, now let's see where we are in the whole process. And we started out with the definition by the IASP, the International Association for the Study of Pain, the go-to place for research all around pain and chronic pain. And here you can see it, an unpleasant sensory and emotional experience associated with or resembling that associated with actual or potential tissue damage. Now, here they put extra stuff in there to explain it a little bit more what they mean. And I go through it now every day, bit by bit, to explain it, because it's so important when you suffer from chronic pain, or you know someone suffering from chronic pain, to know your way around, because pain is such a complex thing, especially chronic pain is very, very complex. And if you want to find a way out, it's good to have a starting point and know where you stand right now. So yesterday, we looked at pain is a personal experience. And today, we want to go into the concept of pain is learned. And that sounds a little bit strange, doesn't it? Because we think it's just a biological function that's happening in there. And yes, it isn't wrong. It is biologically, but not only. It's also psychological and it's social. And we talked about this already. And these three parts of pain, they interact constantly. So, pain, as I said, is a very complex process in the brain that involves a lot of areas working together. And it's like year by year, the neuroscientists find out more that plays a role in your brain when you experience pain, and especially chronic pain. One thing I talked about a lot already is threat detection. So now I just want to touch it very lightly here, because it has to do also with learning. Because what's happening when you're in pain, the threat detection in your brain automatically starts to work. And these are already different centers working together, like the stress system and your senses. You get quite awake and you get a little bit tensed up, or maybe very tensed up when you're in pain. And You want to know, is there any danger outside of you or inside of you? So you can locate the source of what caused you pain. This is the idea behind it. And it also doesn't, now we get to the learning part, it also refers to your biography. It also searches your memory for any hints. Did I experience this before? Was I in a situation like this before? And it takes the information it finds and applies it to this moment right now. And this within a split of a second, it does this. So your brain is already in a learning process. You know, it compares everything, and also the moment right now gets stored for later search, for later potential threat that might be there. And now, the interesting thing is that in most cases, not in all, but in most cases of chronic pain, we don't have an immediate threat to our lives or to the body. But because we're so wired in our brains, we automatically react like we are in acute pain. This is very much a biological, like premises for the whole thing. You know, that's the way we react to anything that might hurt. Our brain immediately watches out, where's the danger? Even if there is no tissue damage to be found. And it compares with your past and sees, how bad is it? How dangerous is it? How do I have to react? How did I react before? And by drawing this information out of the memory, it learns more and more how to react to the pain. But this is not the only way we learn the pain or the concept of pain. So I think that the IASP, the International Association for the Study of Pain, said the concept of pain. This is very interesting because they don't say it's the thing, the pain, but it's a concept. It's something our mind, our brain refers and puts a lot of things together to eventually get to the thing we call pain experience. This is the pain we experience. So it's a very complex thing that's going on in there. And one thing is learning from biography. The next thing is, and it's very close to that, learning from models. So we know from a vast body of studies that, especially when we're young, we're learning from the people around us. So if there was somebody in my family with chronic pain or with a chronic disease that's pretty bad and goes along with a lot of pain, then we learn from this person how to react to these kinds of stimuli. So if I had a mom or a dad, a sister, a brother, whoever, who was in frequent periods of pain, I might have learned to react the same way, or maybe with a lot of willpower, go directly the other way. You know, it might be that, let's take my dad, and he might have displayed a very strong pain behavior meaning behavior that's very expressive, that really shows others, oh, I'm in pain. You know, it's like people that constantly go like, something like this. This is pain behavior. And I know I exaggerate, okay? It's just to bring my point across. So I have someone in my family doing all the time like, So maybe if I get a headache later on, I will always go like, oh, this is dangerous. This hurts bad. You know, just because I learned it. It's part of my concept of pain. But it might be also the opposite. Like I always saw it and I said, oh no, this constant whining, I don't want to be like that. You know, I just, I wouldn't show it at all, you know? And so when pain comes up, I totally shut down and show nothing of it. And both sides are strategies I learned to get along with my pain. And we'll dive a little bit into it just now, because when we look at pain behavior, there are always pros and cons for it. And if I express a lot of pain, I show people that I feel bad. And I let them know how I feel. And they likely react to it. And often they start caring, up to a certain degree, of course. If I always go like, you know, they get annoyed by the time. No, they don't want to have to deal with this. They don't have to deal with this all the time. And they often withdraw from you. You know, you don't see them that much anymore, or they won't help you that often anymore. And often those people displaying this strong expressive pain behavior, they even start doing more of it because something in us thinks, hey, they didn't understand. I have to show how really bad it is. And the more I show it, the more they withdraw. And in some cases, they help. Now we know there are nice studies out, especially from Hertha Flor from Germany. And she could show very nicely for people with fibromyalgia, if they display this kind of overt pain behavior, this expressive pain behavior, that their spouses tend to help them more. But we also know that this reinforces the pain we experience. And now going to the opposite, the other direction, if we don't display it at all, if we all keep it secret for us, and I'm a little bit more of this type, you know, I don't show it very often that I'm in pain because I don't want to get on the nerves of anybody around me. I don't want to annoy them. I think that's my thing. And this leads often to me getting into situations where it's hard to get out and where I know it's just too much for myself. Okay, I load too much on my shoulders. And by this, I experience more pain. And my body learns that when I take up so much, it will hurt. So it learns something about pain and when to produce pain. So pain behavior is something that's very interesting and very, very important when we talk about the pain we experience and how pain over time can build up when it's getting chronic. And the last thing, and this is going a little bit in another direction, it's not so much the pain behavior that is shaped by our social interactions, but it's more the pain memory. And maybe you already heard this pain memory, how it builds up. Well, the way we as humans, or we as biological beings, learn best is by experience. Everything we can learn hands-on, and I think you agree, is learned best. Now, is there any stronger experience in our lives than pain? So if we repeatedly experience pain again and again and again, it's something like a pathway that's built up in our brain, or already on a way to our brains. And we know that when we learn, our nerves actually grow because they want to communicate better and better and better. The better we can do something, the better the communication from nerve to nerve in our system is. And that doesn't matter if we learn a foreign language, if we play piano, if we play tennis, or whatever. And the same way we learn pain. So there's actually a change, a biological change that's going on. And these are neurological pathways that build up so we get better and better and better in feeling pain and also in producing pain. And this is one part of the sensitization that's happening when pain gets chronic. The more chronic it gets, the lower the threshold is until something hurts. And maybe that's your experience too. That when you go into a situation that never hurt back then, when there was no pain, suddenly things in there start hurting. They're very small, that wouldn't hurt anyone else. And you suddenly go like, ouch. And this is the sensitization we talk about. Our brain is specialized on feeling pain. Now, this doesn't sound like a good information, but as we know today, there are pretty good things we as psychologists can offer to retrain the brain. Oh yeah, it's a little effort, I admit. It's really a training. You really have to do it again and again and again, just like you learned how to have pain. You can retrain your brain to get to new neural pathways. And by this, to pain recovery. And that's the good thing to know for today. If you're interested in this, you can find in the description a link to the 6 pillars of pain therapy. It's a PDF I put together, everything I know that can help you, or which are the most effective ways to help yourself on the journey through the pain. Okay. If you liked it, leave a comment, leave a thumbs up. I'm happy to see you tomorrow. Bye.